The workday at J. Renee Coffee in West Hartford, where inside the beans grind and outside the numbers crunch.
Game theory, predictive modeling, machine learning, analytics.
It's a favorite stop for Dave Bergman.
You're playing the game inside of the actual sports games, which is really fun.
A UConn professor of operations and information management who's got game.
Emmanuel Sanders, DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley.
If anyone has the right to break into an end zone happy dance, it's Dave.
It was the Fantasy Football World Championship, and there's 200 tickets to the event, and first prize wins the big jackpot, which I was lucky enough to do.
With a set payroll, you pick the players. The more they score, the better for you.
Everything is thought out in a mathematical and methodical way.
Using his statistical skills, Dr. Bergman won DraftKings' top prize. Might I ask, how much did you bring home from that championship?
Well, the top prize, as has been announced otherwise, is $2.5 million, which is pretty amazing.
$2.5 million, which will help with his kids' education. Some will go to charity.
Just a math dork that just, loves doing math. And that's it.
And he says all of this translates to teachable moments for his students in stores.
So I think what students love about my classes is that I always try to connect all our concepts to the real world. And this is another example that I'm sure they're going to be exciting to hear. Love math, always have since I was a little child, and it continues today.
In West Hartford.
I've never been a cool person in my life, but now I am.
Jim Altman, Fox 61 News.